How's it going, everybody? Um, I titled this Q&A favorites just because I'd asked for you guys to send in some questions for me. It could be about mental health issues or disorders or just generic questions. And I just want to say off from the beginning, I really appreciate the few questions I got. Somebody sent in like a whole page almost. And I pulled a Graham. And what I mean by that is, I remember my buddy Graham. One of the, um, he does, send your questions and ask GSM. But at one time he just wrote them down, the questions, but forgot to put who sent them. I did that for the person who sent me this list. And the other ones too, just because I was trying to write them down and not forget. And then I don't know where I sent it, but I tried to go back into my notification thing, and I don't know how to bring it back up. It wasn't there. So I apologize. I think the majority of the questions was from a female viewer, because I remember I'm pretty sure it was a female's name. I think it started with an S. But anyway, so I apologize. But if you recognize one of your questions, thank you for sending it in. Um, I'm not sure if the person's trying to write a book on me or something, because it was just, I don't know, very a lot of top threes and top five favorites of different things. But if you didn't send in a question and you'd still like to, feel free to do so, and I'll answer it in the next video. Um, but yeah, so the first question I got was, what's your top three favorite songs? Um, where did you sleep last night? The Kurt Cobain cover. Um, Mad World by Gary Jules, which is also a cover, and then Cult of Personality. Those are my top three. Um, they just, for many different reasons. And the next question, let me see, one, two, three, four, five. I think, yeah, I think five was from the female um, viewer, and I think the other three or four were from separate people. I know Graham sent in um, two questions because I sent it via text. Sorry, but so the next question is your top three favorite bands. Um, that yeah, top three favorite bands. That'd be Nirvana, Cranberries, and Pearl Jam. Um, favorite color is blue, obviously. Um, top five favorite movies. I'm not saying they're the greatest movies of all time. I'm just saying, in my opinion, because they have meaning behind them. Um, uh, More so when I saw them and whatnot. But my top five would be Jaws, Predator, Die Hard, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Shawshank Redemption. Um, my top three favorite shows: um, Smallville, Ancient Aliens, and um, I loved 24, but I'd probably say 24 and then Ink Master tied. Um, and then I think this was the last question from her, but it was top three favorite anime, and I wasn't sure if you meant um, like Japanese only, because I never got into Japanese anime or anything like that. But my favorite anime that I watched when I got older, I mean, I guess it counts, but it was Batman the animated series, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited. Shocker, right? Um, So I appreciate those questions. And then, or maybe this was her as well. Favorite animated film? Oh, a favorite animated film if you watch any. Um, I'd probably have to say Batman Under the Red Hood. I know these are all comic book dork answers, but I'm just being honest. But yeah, Batman Under the Red Hood. Very, very good. Um, favorite actor and actress? Um, Kiefer Sutherland and Winona Ryder. Um, don't know why. I've always those two stuck out when I read this question. Um, next question was, do you like paranormal subjects? And then in parentheses was alien, ghost, stuff like that. Yes. I believe in the paranormal. Just because I experienced paranormal stuff that I couldn't explain throughout my life, and that just made me want to question more on certain subjects. Also, um, stuff that involved my family when I was younger, and even when I was 4 and um, living in Japan. I was born in Okinawa, Japan, on a U.S. Air Force base. Um, but yeah, I do like paranormal stuff. And then next question from that viewer, I can't believe I freaking. I'm really sorry. I can't even get credit to the people who sent these. But favorite paranormal show slash shows. Um, I really loved. I mean, when they covered paranormal stuff, but I guess just the mystery aspect of it. But I really loved Unsolved Mysteries when I was younger, with Robert Stack, and I most I guess recent would be in the last couple years, or maybe 10 years. Would be Ancient Aliens. I don't know. I find it very interesting. Um, and then I got, and then this was from somebody else. Like I said, thank you for sending the questions. I apologize. I'm pretty sure the top 5 and 3s were from the same person and favorite actors, actress, and the paranormal stuff. Now that I'm looking at it written down, so thank you. You know you are. I really appreciate it. You can put your name in the comments, and I sent that. But thank you very much. And then I had somebody send in. Do you prefer any of your disorders over the others? And this took me a couple minutes to think about and write down, but um, I prefer my tics or my Tourette's over over depression. But I prefer my OCD over the tics. I prefer the depression over the social anxiety, and then I prefer social anxiety over night terrors. Um, so overall, I would say I guess I would prefer my OCD over everything, just because at least everything's clean, and I mean I don't like walk around my car and have to check the door handles every 3 times in a row, or ring a doorbell, or turn it. Um, I think it's more about organization and cleaning and prepping and how things are lined on desks and stuff like that. Everything has its spot, as I would say, to my friends and stuff. Um, and then someone asked my favorite author. Um, I'd have to say I think just because of his investigations that he's done over a long period of time, I probably say Philip J. Imbrogno, which is he's a paranormal investigator. Um, nothing like Ghost Adventures or anything like that, which apparently a lot of that came out to be staged. Um, next question was favorite cartoons growing up. Um, probably Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, Doug, Ren and Stimpy, Rocko's Modern Life, Batman animated series, Tiny Toons. I'd probably have to say those. Um, Another question was, have you done a lot of traveling, and if so, favorite place? Um, I've I've been everywhere in the U.S. When we were moving state to state, my mother was trying to find work for herself. I was younger after my father stopped paying child support um, illegally. Um, my favorite place. I'm I'm not a big fan of the West Coast, but that's probably just because of at that time the experience of living out of a car and being on the West Coast. Um, I really I really like Illinois. I always refer to it as like the Garden of Eden, just because my best friend, one of my best friends, Nick, lives there, and I just really enjoy it. It's like Smallville. I mean, even when you fly in and stuff, Bloomington / Normal, Illinois. Um, I probably have to say, I mean, I grew up in Florida, but the idea of ever being back in Florida just, I don't know, skis me out from bad memories, even though, that was my childhood and stuff. Um, I mean, I probably have to say Illinois. I currently live in Connecticut. I mean, I like it here, just because my friends and my family and my friends that are my family are here, and stuff. But I have to say, favorite probably Illinois. I just really like Illinois. Um, yeah. So, and then to finish it off, Graham sent me two questions, and um, of course they're about wrestling. But favorite Survivor Series moment. Um, I probably have to go old school with it and say the Montreal Screwjob. Which if you're not sure about that, you could always Google it or whatnot. And I know it's probably kind of cliche, but I mean, just because not that it was a good thing that happened, but it was just a pivotal moment in the history of the industry, and just for the exposure. And I was young and just not believing what I saw. Um, I really don't have any new ones that I can think of, just because I haven't. They kind of botched that pay per view, or one of their main fours in the last, I don't know, 10 years. Um, I mean, I will say probably, I guess, the most recent probably be the 2002 Survivor Series with the Elimination Chamber. I really liked that. I remember watching that, with Sean and RVD, etc. Um, and then the other question, Graham, you sent was, thoughts on Hell in a Cell last week. I think it was last week. I liked it overall. Um, I thought the Owens and Rollins match was great. The ending was kind of, predictable, but and then the women's match is great. Other than the tiny botches that kept happening. But I'd say the one thing that stuck out for me that I thought of when it was over was, like, nobody climbed up that cage, even though they had you could see they had the openings where they could climb up to the top, like on the entrance side, not the where the announce tables were. I thought that was kind of weird, because usually, maybe just because it's been done before so many times, but I was kind of hoping to see at least the women's match go up to the top and fight up there for some reason. I just thought that would have been really cool. Not necessarily, fall off or anything like that, but just, fight up there. I just thought it would have been a cool moment. Um, but yeah, that's it for the Q&A favorites. Like I said before, if you have any other questions, or you meant to send in a question, I'll always answer them. In the next, I always put them in a video if if you wanted to ask me something. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well. Since last week, or since earlier this week, it's just things are kind of calming down and getting a little more stable with everything that's been going on with work and losing a loved one and stuff like that. Um, but I hope your weekend goes well. And I hope you're all doing well. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below, or you know, send me a PM. And I'll talk to you later. Thanks.